What if I told you it once was a Destiny 2 weapon that was so powerful that it actually tore apart the Destiny 2 community? And this weapon was so good it instantly became the meta for both PvP and PvE. And the reason it tore apart the community because it alienated half of the Destiny 2 community, because the only way you could get this weapon is by going into PvP. And to obtain it, you had to play the old competitive playlist, which is 1,000 times harder than the competitive playlist now. And you almost had to get the max points of 5,500 just to obtain this weapon. So people went years without getting this weapon. However, this weapon was so dominant for both PvP and PvE that people were so desperate that they started paying $1,000 to $1,500 to carrying services for people to get on their account to get this weapon for them. And it became such a huge problem, it forced Bungie to nerf the weapon 4 times, change the archetype 3 times, and then eventually sunset it. However, after all that, that weapon is still in the game and it is still the best hand cannon in Destiny 2. And that weapon is the legendary hand cannon, the Not Forgotten. Now, the Not Forgotten currently is a 140 rounds per minute hand cannon with 10 in the magazine with a recoil of 100. However, it used to be a 180 hand cannon, but it was so dominant Bungie turned it to a 150 hand cannon, then changed it to a 140 hand cannon. However, what makes this weapon so broken is that it still is a precision frame, which precision frames are 180 hand cannons. So what that means, the recoil pattern is more predictable vertical and it fires quickly with high accuracy. So even though it's a 140 archetype, it still shoots like the ease of a 180. So it makes this weapon still so dominant. The Not Forgotten also had a little brother hand cannon called the Luna's Howl, which you got at 2100 in the comp ranking. And this weapon, along with Not Forgotten, dominated the Crucible landscape and the PvE landscape. And what's crazy, both of these weapons you could buy at the Exotic Archive at the tower. So you have 2 of the best hand cannons ever made in the game, and they're still super powerful. The major thing to make these weapons so coveted is this trait called the Magnificent Howl, where rapidly landing 2 precision shots increase the net shot damage and range for a short duration. And if you look at the footage in the background, this is from YouTuber Dado. This when Not Forgotten was in his prime, in his heyday. Just look how it destroys the competition with the Magnificent Howl when it perks. This weapon was so good and dominant, man. People would do anything to get access to these weapons. And me personally, I love using the Luna's Howl instead of the Not Forgotten because the Luna's Howl came with more stability. And it also had a stability masterwork. However, at the high-end comp level, you had to use the Not Forgotten because not only did it come with extended barrel and accurized rounds, but it came with a range masterwork that gave you an amazing 71 range, which was 30 more than the Luna's Howl. So this weapon was unstoppable. You could not be beaten. I love this weapon so much. I have put over 17,000 kills on this weapon, the most I've ever put on a weapon in PvP. So if you're interested in more Destiny 2 weapon reviews and guide road guys, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.